What is going on, guys? Finally a winning day in the books, kind of. Not kind of, it is a winning day. Took multiple trades though. We'll get right into it. Oh, it's just so beautiful. So beautiful. I haven't had it's been so long. Like, last week, the entirety of last week, there was not a single setup this nice. Actually, on Wednesday, or was that 2 weeks ago? I don't remember. It's just nice. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, coming into the day, I want to see one of two things, okay? One of two things. We have this 4-hour unmitigated imbalance right here. Unmitigated 4-hour. And we had an equal high with this. So coming into the day, we obviously hadn't taken this. And we had an equal, relative equal high. We were a little under it. So I either wanted to see New York AM push us up into this and take this high and then look to target this unmitigated 4, or the opposite. Come down, fill this 4-hour gap, and then look to take longs to this high, and just beautiful. Exactly what happened. All right, so I'm gonna try and be super informative and actually give some sauce in these videos, okay? So coming into this trade, in my opinion, this is an A to A plus trade. I mean, it could just be the fact that the trade won, but at the same time, I really am struggling to see bad things about this trade. So what is good about it? First off, we are delivering off a key level, that 4-hour gap, after we completely filled it and respected it. Look at that 4-hour candle, we just come down, wick it, and then we close all the way up here. Obviously, that's the trade we took, but that's what you want to look for. That's why my trade yesterday, I don't even think I did a trade recap, but why my trade yesterday didn't hit. One of the main reasons is because we didn't have a key level to go off of, and I just took a random IFEG, okay? So we're delivering off a 4-hour gap key level. We have a session low sweep, so we swept London lows with this move down as well. My draw itself was relative equal highs with this higher time frame. It was actually this, yeah. We had relative equal highs with this. Boom. High time frame trend, we are bullish, so following the trend. We have a clean V-shaped recovery after sweeping London low and hitting the key level. So what I mean by that is right here, this is what you want to see when you're looking for some sort of reversal or manipulation. Is that clean V-shaped recovery. This is fractal, by the way, meaning on any time frame. So we have also that bit of an AMD accumulation, manipulation, and then we have that clean distribution coming out of the 4-hour and coming out of the session sweep. So I could add that as well, actually. AMD / boom. And confirm and switch to bullish order flow on lower time frame. All I mean by that is I'm entering all the way up here. I'm sure some people caught this off here, but all I mean by that is here we create a bullish 1-minute gap, sponsored by this 4-hour. And all I mean by that is that we come back into this, respect it, and continue higher, confirming bullish order flow. So that's all I mean by that. Just gives slight confirmation that we are going to see somewhat of a reversal / retracement. Now the bad for this trade, the only thing I can really identify is the lower time frames is somewhat choppy. Along here and along here, we're a little bit wicky. That's really all I meant by that. High time frame SMT. So high time frame SMT, coming into the day, we actually had an SMT with these highs, which I wasn't too worried about because we had an SMT with these. why wasn't I worried about this is because I believe that the draw on liquidity was this high, and I wanted to see this high get taken. And then it doesn't matter if you have SMT. It's the same thing with the lower time frame SMT. So I put SMT with LRL. All I meant by that is we had SMTs along this whole way up with this slanted LR. Why doesn't this matter? For example, we have like coming into the trade, we might have had an SMT with this, or as we're moving up, we get an SMT with this high. Why I'm not worried about that is because if this is the overall draw on liquidity, that this will not like cause a reversal. If I have the correct draw on liquidity, which I end up having today, SMTs with these highs are going to be inevitable. Obviously, if one of the two ES or NQ is moving like slightly ahead of each other. So I'm not worried about SMTs with this. Only really worried about an SMT with my actual draw on liquidity, which we actually ended up putting. And then as soon as ES took this high before, we were already around here, and I started like trailing my stop loss. But SMTs with like LRL does not matter, especially when the draw on liquidity is like a lot stronger and a lot higher. Because like a lot of people might get like nervous when they see an SMT, for example, if they had the exact same entry as me, and they saw ES took this, maybe they go break even, and then right away when ES take this, I mean that's not even like that's a bad example, because like that's not like a bad idea, but for example, like any one of these swing highs, if you shouldn't be closing your position if we have an SMT with these, if there is a clear higher draw, is all I'm really trying to say. So yeah, overall I would call this an A to A plus setup. Like again, maybe it's just because it's the trade hit, but I don't see a lot of things wrong with this trade. Into that, I did end up taking a loss straight off New York AM. Got kind of hesied with this little move here because the same thing happened, but we ended up wanting to fill more this 4 hour. So we ended up, this was like straight after New York AM, we literally just tapped it and then had a 1 minute and 30-second IFVG, and I tried to take a long off that. That was a no-go. Yeah, Insta stopped out. I know you're saying, what happened to one trade today? What happened to one trade today? Just yeah, anyway, I'm going to close that. Price wanted to end up taking a lot more of this 4 hour imbalance, pretty much almost filling out the whole thing. So I should have probably recognized that. But yeah, still ended up able to catch this. I was debating taking this 3 minute IFVG, holding it all the way to these highs. Oh, that would have been. But I wanted to play it safe. I already had a loss under my belt today, and I wanted to wait for this 5 minute IFVG. I'm not gonna lie, I entered this thinking that we inversed it. I don't know if we did. But I was pretty confident in this play because we already had legs along here that we already inversed. Like, I was debating taking this 3 minute inversion, and then this would have been my break even, but I just didn't really want to do that. I would have got break even as well, actually. So yeah, I took this with like the 5 minute IFVG, little sketchy on the fill, but meaning that it wasn't filled and I'm just coping. But ended up playing out. I was like literally debating taking this 1 minute IFVG, so like me waiting for this is like already good. Yeah, here's a P&L by the way. So ended up, I lost 500 on the original trade, the first one, and then I made 1,000 on this, so then up 500 on the day. So we are back to where we started at the start of the week. Yeah, just cancels out yesterday's loss. So we're back. These accounts are pretty much still at break even. I have not been able to build up a buffer yet. Kind of annoying because I would have been slowly starting to build that up if I had waited for this. And I mean, looking back on it, it's pretty obvious that we would want to fill this whole gap and not just literally tap. like 3 points into it. Yeah. Yeah, super clean. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I hope you guys can like take something away from this video. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.